Alright, today we're going to work on some dimensional analysis problems. This is from the assignment CP Chem Dimensional Analysis. I'm going to show you how to do a few of these problems, and you can use this to help you in your homework. Alright, so if you look here, the first thing we want to do is to indicate our starting quantity. That's this amount of kilograms. So I'm going to write that down here to the left. 0.06321 kilograms. We move kilograms to the bottom. We put grams on the top. The 1 goes with the prefix, and the quantity 10 to the third goes on the top. And I forgot we did this in class. We're going to put the 1 on the bottom here just to remind us we're multiplying by fractions. The kilograms will reduce out. And we're ready to plug this into our calculator. And we should get the following: 632.1 grams. Alright, in this next problem, we're going to determine how many decimeters there are in 8.06295 millimeters. So, here's our given again. Okay, and write that down as our beginning point, 8.06295 millimeters. We're going to put that over 1. Doesn't look like an M very much. There we go. The units that we start with always move to the next denominator. Just like on our Chem quest, we need to make sure we convert to the base unit here. The 1 goes with the prefix. Milli means 10 to the negative 3. The millimeters reduce out, and now we're ready to move on to meters. Meters go to decimeters. The 1 goes with the prefix. Looking on our chart, deci means 10 to the negative 1. Okay, and now we'll reduce out the meters, and now we're ready to figure out what the final answer is. I've got 10 to the negative 3 over 10 to the negative 1, that's 10 to the negative 2, and we'll just multiply it by our starting quantity. So 8.06295 times 10 to the negative 2 decimeters. Alright, now we're going to just skip ahead to problem number 7. It's a little bit different. We're going to start with micrograms. So we've got 0.822 micrograms. That's our starting quantity. So I'm going to write that over here to the left. Oops. I'll fix that. Alright, so we have 0.822 micrograms. I'm going to put that over 1. Hey, we're starting with micrograms. We don't want that in our final answer. We're going to put micrograms on the bottom, and we put decigrams on the top. Oops. Alright, that's an error. Let's fix that. We're going to actually go to grams instead. Hey, remember, we should always go to the base unit. So, 1 goes with the prefix. Micro means 10 to the negative 6. I'm going to draw another line. This time we're going to convert from base units, grams, into decigrams. 10 to the negative 1. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Let's fix that. 1 always goes with the prefix. Let's see, even I make mistakes. Alright, but I caught myself. Alright. Let's cancel our units. Micrograms, grams. The only unit left is decigrams. So now we're ready to go ahead and plug this into our calculator. 0.822 times 10 to the negative 6 divided by 10 to the negative 1. And when all is said and done, we should end up with 8.22 times 10 to the negative 6. Don't forget your units. So decigrams. And here's our final answer. Alright, so this problem is number 12. It's a little bit more difficult. And the reason for that is because we're using volume units. So our starting quantity is cubic centimeters. Okay? And this time what we're looking for is cubic meters. Okay? So there's a little extra step that we're going to need to take here able to do this problem properly. So we put 4,312 cubic centimeters, so this is how we indicate that, over 1. Okay. We want cubic centimeters on the bottom and cubic meters on the top. The 1 goes with the prefix. We look up on our table, it's 10 to the negative 2. But if we were able to calculate the problem as it is written, we would mess up. And the reason for that is, the 1 centimeter equals 10 to the negative 2 meters, but 1 cubic centimeter is not 10 to the negative 2 meters cubed. So what we will need to do is to make sure that we put in parentheses the two things that are equivalent to each other. Okay. So when we go ahead and solve for this problem, the cubic meters or centimeters will cancel out the cubic centimeters. We'll be left with cubic meters. This 10 to the negative 2 is actually cubed. Hey, and when you take an exponent and raise it to the other exponent, you multiply their value. So this is 10 to the negative 6. So now I've got 4,312 times 10 to the negative 6. Okay, and then that should give us 4.312 times 10 to the negative 3rd power. And that is cubic meters. Okay. Some of you might also have written this, 0.004312 cubic meters. Both would be correct. Alright, so I'm going to help you with the hardest problem on the entire assignment. I didn't help you with all of them, but you can at least know that you've got help on this hardest one. Okay, so let's go ahead here and highlight what we know. It's the 86.3 cubic centimeters. And we're going to highlight what we're looking for here. Cubic millimeters. So this is my given, and this is my find. Alright, here we're starting with something with a prefix, and we're ending with something with a prefix. So you need to convert to the base unit. Plus, we have to remember, just like in the last problem, cubic volume measurements, you have to put parentheses around the conversion factors in order to do the problems properly. So let's show you. We've got 86.3 cubic centimeters. Put that over 1. Okay, we're going to move this unit to the next denominator, and then we're going to convert to the base unit. Then what we'll need to do is take the base unit and convert to the desired unit, which is cubic millimeters. And I'm going to put on with each of the prefixes, we're going to put a 1. Okay. Now we put on top what the two things are equivalent to, or in this case, we're going to put on the bottom, it's 10 to the negative 3. And then you have to make sure you do this extra step. Put parentheses around the two quantities that are equivalent to each other. This will remind us that when we do this problem, we've got some additional mathematical operations to perform. So if you look right here in the middle, you're going to take 10 to the negative 2 and you're going to cube that. If you look down here on the bottom, we have 10 to the negative 3 and we're going to need to cube that. So this will become, the middle part will become 10 to the negative 6. The bottom part will become 10 to the negative 9. And when you take 10 to the negative 6 over 10 to the negative 9, we subtract the exponent. So negative 6 minus negative 9 is 10 to the 3rd. And then you're going to multiply that by our original quantity. When all is said and done, we have 8.63 times 10 to the 4th cubic millimeters. Alright, there you have it, the hardest problem on the assignment. I didn't want to help you with all of them because I think you'll need the practice, but you need to make sure that you're comfortable doing unit conversions, especially metric conversions. All right, good luck on your studies.